If you're a stock photographer, you probably already know how tedious it is to upload all of your photos to all the different sites that sell stock photos, doing all your keywords and getting everything set up so that you can sell your photos. If you're starting out and you haven't yet uploaded your photos, you've probably already heard about how tedious it can be. And if you haven't heard about it, well, it can be tedious. Thankfully though, there are some sites that we can use that can actually help us save a lot of time in this process and actually upload to multiple sites at once. The two sites that I've found useful so far are Dropstock.io and Photerloo.com. Both of these sites do the same main job but have a few different strengths and weaknesses compared to each other. Both of these thankfully offer a free version, so you don't have to pay for this service at all, which means more profit in the long run. But there are also paid tiers that you can pay more that will give you a little bit of extra features, like letting you upload more photos at one time or in a specific period of time, whereas the free version might only give you a certain amount of photos per week or a certain cap of gigabytes or something. But ultimately the free version is workable, and even some of the paid tiers sometimes have free trials that you can upload all of your photos to at the start, cancel the free trial, and then just use the free version after that, where you can kind of just drop in more photos after that. So for those of you who are new, this is the last part in my stock photography series. I'll link the playlist up here if you want to check it out. Some of the other videos that I've gone through about stock photography are some helpful tips on doing stock photography, how to organize and sort through a big library of photos just to find those specific stock photos that you want to sell, and also a few tips on editing the photos as well. So this is video number 4 of this series. Hope you enjoy. So here we have Photerloo.com on this side and then Dropstock.io on the other. So these are two sites that I found that offer this upload service for stock photos. There may be others that I haven't been able to find, but these two are the ones that seem to show up the easiest when I was searching for this. All right, so here we have Dropstock.io, and then we have Photerloo.com. So Dropstock, I think, has more sites that it can upload to. Meanwhile, Photerloo, I think, is a little bit more limited, but I think Photerloo is made a little bit more user-friendly, where they kept the photographer in mind, because you can upload to your social media as well as all of these main microstock sites. Dropstock doesn't have any of those social media sites, so I think it is one limitation on that side. So the way Dropstock works is once you sign in, link your Dropbox account. In Dropbox, you'll have a folder that is like your upload folder. When you link it to Dropstock, Dropstock will always be looking at that upload folder. And then as you upload folders into the Dropbox upload folder, Dropstock will then take those photos and then send those to all of the sites that you have linked in your account. If we scroll down, we can see that you can add all of these different stock sites to your account. Basically, you just have to go on to each individual site, make an account, and then inside of that account somewhere it will give you a FTP link and all of the stuff that you need to link to Dropstock. And then once you're in Dropstock, you just add credentials here. These are the ones that I've already filled out here. You'll have the FTP URL. You'll have the path, which usually is just the standard slash. You put your own username and password in for that account. And then upload folders is the folder from your Dropbox account that you've linked. So you can have multiple folders and then you just choose which folder to link. I only have the upload folder here, so yeah. It does go into a little bit more detail here, but that's basically the gist of it. Here we can see some of their main agencies, but then we can also go to this link here and it shows all the different sites that you can upload to and a whole ton of information about each one, like the commissions and how much money you make off of everything. So getting your account set up does take a little bit of time because you do have to make all of those individual accounts. So that can take up a bit of time, but once you set everything up once, then it's set up. Then you just go into your Dropbox account and do all of your uploads to there, and then Dropstock handles the rest. But the thing about Dropstock is that once everything is uploaded, you still have to go into each individual website to actually make those photos public, because you'll have to add all of the keywords title, description, and then making sure that you have all the appropriate releases that are required by each website. One nice thing about Dropstock though is if we go over to keyword tools on the top bar here, there's 3 different tools that we can use here. So if we go keywords from title, you can just throw a title of the photo into here. You can add a description if you want, and then you can choose how you want these keywords to be separated, and then you click Get Keywords. From there, it will give you a ton of keywords that you can then go and paste into each one of your stock photography websites. So you don't have to think about each one, you kind of just describe each photo individually with a title here. You can add a description if you want, and then you get all these keywords which will hopefully help turn into more sales. Here we have the CSV batch keywording tool. This is something that I can't really wrap my head around. They do have a little bit of documentation down here, and they do have an example Google Doc that you can kind of look at and see how they want you to kind of set it all up. I don't really understand why someone would do this over using a different tool, but it does seem to be in a test, so it is free. So if this is something that seems interesting to you, I would recommend trying it out because, you know, it's free, might as well try it out at least once. And then finally, we also have the keyword research tool. So basically it's a similar kind of thing as the first tool that I showed you, but it gives a little bit more information and you have a little bit more control. So if I searched architecture here, we can add keywords and we can block out keywords here. We can also filter by file types. It gives you a list of 4, and then you can just hold Shift and select all the ones you want and hold Control or Command to remove them. I'm just going to search for images now. And then we have minimum sales. So I think this is related to the numbers here. So I'm just going to put 1 and go ahead and search. So then from architecture, it's going to go through and give me a list of all these different similar kinds of keywords that relate to architecture. We can see here that a lot of these have a fairly decent amount of sales per photo uploaded, and even views of each file as well. So these do look pretty good. Say for example, I don't want water relating to architecture. I can just uncheck this one. You can see it's now down to 49. And then it gives you a list of even further potential keywords that I can select. And now I can select architectural. Now we have 50. We can just copy all of these and then paste them into whatever site we're going to be uploading to. So here we can see inside of my Dropbox, I have this folder called dropstock.io. If I open it up, here we can see the upload folder, and if I open it up, it's empty. So here's one example of a stock photo that I have edited and exported. So let's go ahead and upload it, and here it is in my Dropbox. After a little while, there's going to be another folder called syncing. That's basically Dropstock taking that folder from the upload folder, putting it into the syncing folder, and the syncing folder is basically them sending it out to all of the different sites. So once Dropstock is done sending your photos out, then its work is pretty much all done. From there, you go and take all the keywords that you've generated from these tools, put them in all of the descriptions and the titles, and add all the keywords on each of the sites, and then you're good to publish those photos. To give you a little idea of what the pricing is, you get 1 free gigabyte every month, and it's always free. And then Dropstock doesn't work with subscriptions. Basically, if you anticipate a month where you're going to be going a little bit more crazy with the amount of uploads that you're going to be doing, you can go and buy a little bit of extra gigabytes worth. Let's say I need another 20 gigabytes. I would just go ahead and pay $5. I get 25 gigabytes worth, and it really doesn't cost much more than a coffee. So then we come to Photerloo. This is a Canadian-based website, and it's quite a lot different. So let's start with pricing. They have a free tier, but you only get 5 photo uploads per week. So as I mentioned before, you can probably do the 14-day trial, and within those 14 days, upload all of the photos that you're planning on uploading at once. And then from there, cancel that subscription, go with the free tier, and then any photos that you get after that, you can just do 5 uploads per week. And then, I mean, $60 a year and $8 a month really isn't that much more if you do plan on taking a lot more stock photos in the future. So this is the inside of what Photerloo looks like. Let's go ahead and add that photo that I added in the last time, and we'll see the progress bar as it uploads, and it's all done. From here, it's going to give a bunch of keywords that will be suggested. This website is using artificial intelligence to read what the photo is and then give off keywords based on what it sees. So building, city, street, road, that's pretty much exactly what this photo is. So you can add individual keywords, or you can just go select max amount of keywords, and then it's all in there. And then we can go ahead and copy selected keywords to clipboard. So I think it's a little bit more intuitive than Dropstock. Obviously, it's a lot easier because it just uses AI to read it. But then from there, you can go and save, and it adds those keywords. I think it adds those keywords directly into the photo, and then you can just go ahead and complete. So it's really easy to connect your accounts. You basically just sign in, and you don't have to worry about the FTP that Dropstock uses. You just sign in. You can also go ahead and add your social media accounts and then all of these other sites. So once you've uploaded and added your keywords, you press complete photo, and then we go to the tab here that says completed. This is the photo here. We rotate and it has all these keywords that we've already added. We can rotate it back, and then we have this little Shutterstock button, and this button will send that photo to Shutterstock. So from here, we can add in the description of the photo. So we could say, so then we have our keywords here. There's a maximum of 50. We can go ahead and delete some. We can add more from the suggested keywords. And then from there, we basically just hit upload. It's gonna think for a little bit. So now that it's finished thinking, you'll see the check mark, and then you can go ahead and click that. It will bring you to Shutterstock, where you go ahead and sign into your account. And then we have this photo here with all these keywords, just like magic. So then from here, there's just a few more things left to do. Add a category, add a location, make sure that there's no releases needed. You set your image type and your usage, and that is pretty much as easy as it is. So the nice thing about Dropstock is the fact that there's no real limit to the amount of sites that you can upload to, whereas with Photerloo, you can only upload each photo to 4 different sites for the free version. But you know, ultimately, I think both of these are a good foundation for people starting off in stock photography. I think if you're smart about it, there's a way that you could do kind of both sites at once based on where you want to send your photos. Like maybe you use the 14-day trial to start and send all of your photos off at once. And then from there, you use the 1 gigabyte on Dropstock later on for uploading the rest of your photos in the future. There's definitely a lot of possibilities with the flexibility in that sense. So here I've linked my Instagram account, so let's go ahead and see what happens when I try and upload to Instagram. With their AI, they've also added a bunch of popular hashtags for Instagram, so I can go ahead and start adding these to the post, and then I can add a description for the post, and then hit upload. So this can be quite useful if you're trying to upload photos on a very consistent basis. It's a lot easier to use these hashtags instead of trying to think of them on your own while you're on your phone, for example. So that is pretty much it for this whole series and for this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that all of these videos will inevitably help you make some more sales with your photos. I know I have a lot more photos that I'm going to go through and start editing so that I can hopefully sell more, but I hope this was a good baseline to get you started. Feel free to drop any comments below if you have any further questions about stock photography, and I'd be happy to answer them either in the comments or in a future video later on if there's enough interest and enough questions. As always, if you liked this video, drop a like, and if you loved it, drop a subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.